Welcome back to Old Moon Radio. I am Chris Baranko along with Ian Mills here. And Ian, we have a special edition of the podcast today.
Yeah, it's that time of year again.
Spotify Wrapped. We're going to talk about our Wrapped. A lot of what we've talked about this year ended up on my Spotify Wrapped, which makes sense because we were listening to it in preparation for the episodes. But I'm excited to get into it. We're just going to go through each category and share what each other had. And we hope that you guys can follow along at home. We're going to try our best to make it as straightforward as possible.
Yeah, and then we'll do the top songs after.
Yeah, the top
All of our
100.
top songs.
Ian, how many minutes did you listen to Spotify this year?
Before I say, do you think it's more or less than you?
I think it's probably more, but then I was thinking you do a lot of your listening offline, like on YouTube and on like other platforms. So I feel like that's going to take away from your total time on Spotify.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I do. I wish I knew the split. I there is like a YouTube Wrapped, like every platform kind of has Wrap now, but I don't know if it counts like minutes to listen to music as much. So yeah, because I have YouTube Premium, so I do. I would say 50-50, but I don't know that as a fact. But
Hmm.
I listened to just over 15,000 minutes this year,
Okay.
15,190.
All right. I edged you out then. I was at 21,609. Neither of us were that high. I see people with way higher on theirs. I think ever since I left school, for me, it dipped down. Working like 9 to 5, I don't listen to Spotify that much while I'm working. But when I was in school, I think I was reaching like 50, 60,000 minutes a year.
Yeah, and I think we're just overall more split on platforms. Like, I know you listen to stuff on Nugs a lot, even if it's like live streams, which would count, I think. Um, and then yeah, for me, Nugs and YouTube Premium. But
Mhm. It's
yeah,
definitely
I would say probably 30,000 total if I had to guess, like doubling mine. But
yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
Read to me, what was your top genre and then what were the ones below it?
Um, so like the top one I feel like you can guess. For me it was Jam Band
Mm,
as number one. And
mm.
then number two, Americana. Number three, Newgrass. Number four, classic rock, and number five, country.
That sounds about right. Did it tell you how many different genres you listened to as a whole on the screen
Yeah,
before?
that was 157 total.
Oh, nice. I got you beat out there. I got 266 genres. Um, my top were freak folk, which I don't really know what that means, jam band, Americana, pop, and surf rock. I was surprised surf rock snuck on there because how many songs are like classified as surf rock nowadays? I feel
Yeah,
like
I don't
that's
know. Like, I
pretty
guess we can get
niche.
into it for top songs, but like, do you have any like big ideas of what bands that was?
No idea. Maybe the band Surfer Blood. I listen to them every now
Yeah,
and then,
probably.
but
But like
they've
to make your top five, do you like listen to that much Surfer Blood?
not really, so I don't really know how that got there, but we'll see. Maybe there will be trends in the top 100 songs.
Well, hold on. Speaking of Surfer Blood, a band we've both seen. You've seen more than me. We went one time. They like so when did we go to that show? It was like 2020. No, it's 2019 because I
Right,
was living in a
that
different
sounds
place.
right.
Um, they don't really come up to our neck of the woods anymore.
No, I think they've slowed down as a band. If you're familiar with the band Surfer Blood, which you probably are, they're like just an indie rock band from like the 2010s, and they had a few solid albums. They had a good run there, but I think they've started touring less nowadays and more local shows. Maybe I might be completely wrong, but yeah, they haven't come by our area much recently. I think the next one is the listening age. Have
Okay.
you looked at
Yeah.
yours yet? I'm assuming you did.
Yeah. Yeah. We've both looked at all of this.
Yeah, no.
I didn't. We talked about this before the show too. I don't really know how this was determined. Because I assume it's like some proportion of like your top song. So mine was 55, which it says since you were into music from the late 80s, which I guess fits. I don't know.
Yeah, I think this is the most inaccurate portion of Spotify Wrapped this year. I think it like clings on to one or two songs and determines your listening age based off that because I don't want to spoil. One of my artists in my top five was a very modern artist, and my listening age was 83 because I listened to like a few songs from the 50s, like only
Can
a
you like
few.
pick out those songs?
Yeah, Fenario by is it the Journeyman? I think you showed me it.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so
Um,
that one's one of my top songs. And then I have others that are older. I mean, I don't think it's a surprise to say like most of my stuff's like Jerry Garcia related. So I don't know.
right. Yeah, I think this is definitely the most inaccurate portion of Wrapped. It just seems strange how they determine those numbers. I don't really get it. But how many songs did you listen to throughout the year in total?
Do you want to bet again to see do you think mine's more or less than you? So
Because
you had
I,
more genres and more minutes listened. I
yeah,
probably like how much more do you think yours is? Like what do you think the proportion is for uh
yeah. I don't
like
think,
50% more minutes listened and I don't know, 100 more genres?
yeah, I know what you're saying. I don't think I listened to a whole lot of songs more than you did. Mine was, I'll just say mine was
Okay.
2066. How much
Okay.
was yours?
So like I feel like it's pretty proportional. Mine was 1,184.
Hmm. Okay.
I was curious because we'll see this on the top songs. I listen to albums mostly, so a lot of my top songs are like all the songs on one album, which I feel like shrinks like the total amount of songs listened because I'm not like jumping around too much.
Hmm.
But that feels kind of in line with minutes listened and genres.
Did you correctly guess what would be your number one song on the app when it gave you the different options?
No, I
Really?
yeah, and the one I was convinced would be number one wasn't even there, and isn't. It's like way down on the list in the top songs. So,
I
but like
think,
the reason why I thought it would be number one is the reason why the number one song is number one. So, I think I was right in like practice, but not the right song.
I think you listened to Killa by Kingfisher mostly later in the year, like after Rap
Yeah, so that's
stopped
well,
collecting
so it
data.
was mainly like 1 or 2 days. So it would be weird because it's on my top listened songs.
Hmm. Okay.
But it'd be weird if the cutoff was like between like the 2 days I listened to it like over and over and over again. But I don't know.
It's possible, I guess. Um,
So we should say the options for top song, which I think is just the top five. I'll try to pick.
yeah, unfortunately, it's going to be really hard because they're all like the same. Same thing happened to me. I was
Sure.
listening to an album on repeat over and over, and all the songs from this album were my top five, and that's Cosmic Selector by Lord Huron. So
Okay.
I don't think you'll be able to guess which one of the Cosmic Selector songs
All
is
right.
my
I mean, I
favorite.
got a 20% chance.
All right, Bag
Let's
of
do it.
Bones. Is there anybody out there? Watch Me Go, Nothing I Need, and Looking Back. I can give you a brief description of each one if you want.
No, I'm just gonna guess straight up. I'll go Bag of Bones.
No, no. My top song was Is There Anybody Out There by Lord Huron. I think it's the strongest off their album, Cosmic Selector. I listened only 51 times, which I swear I listened to that song more than that this year. So, again, the
Yeah,
data
I
is,
think this is all like deflated. I think that what we listen to is a little deflated.
I think so too. But yeah, I love that song. It will definitely make my top 100 next year, I'm sure. I don't know if it will make the top five again. That's a rare feat when songs can go back to back, but I really
Yeah.
like this song and deserving of a top song for me. Now I want to hear yours.
Okay. Um, so mine, okay. I'll just go down the list. Um, then try not to spoil it by saying more than that. So Swing Low, Sweet Chariot, Jerry Garcia acoustic band, almost acoustic. Casey Jones off the same album, Jerry Garcia Acoustic Band from Almost Acoustic. Fairy Tale of New York, The Pogues and Christy McCall. Goodnight Irene, Jerry Garcia and John Kahn. Or Beat It On Down the Line, Grateful Dead. That's Dick's Picks 8 at Harper College, 1970.
Hmm. I'm going to go, and I think this reasoning is sound and smart. I'm going to go with Fairy Tale of New York because it's the
Yeah.
least like the others.
Yeah, I mean that's why I almost said like you're probably gonna get it because it's kind of obvious, but yeah.
Yeah, how did that sneak in there?
Which I listened to kind of like Killa, where I listened to it over and over a couple days, maybe a couple times, because like it's normally like sort of a Christmas. I mean, it is a Christmas song.
Yeah.
Listened to it probably last year, and then Molly Tuttle came out with a version that in this fall, so I probably listened to it a little bit after that as well. But not what
Okay.
I expected. But I did listen to it over and over again some days, so that's probably why it got number one.
Nice. Do you feel like that is deserving of your number one song? Is it a song that you really love, or was it a song you just binged for a few days?
No, it's a great song,
Yeah.
but not what I expected for sure.
Yeah. That's fun. All right, so next on the story for Wrapped is the amount of albums that you listen to each year. Ian, how many different albums did you listen to according to Wrapped?
It has me listening to 23 albums,
Mm,
which like
yeah.
I don't know what the threshold for listening to an album because I listen to a lot of albums and maybe it's like a certain amount of minutes or like listening to every song on the album within a certain amount of time or something.
Yeah, I don't really know either. Mine was 38. Um, can you guess my top album?
Lord Huron.
Yeah, Cosmic Selector. Your top album, is it that Jerry Garcia Almost Acoustic?
Surprisingly not. Well, maybe not surprising. It's the same. It's the Dick's Picks 8 um
Mm,
Grateful Dead, which is an incredible album. It's super long, which I think why it's the number one album. And like half the songs are in my top songs. How many minutes did you listen to the Lord Huron album?
says 827 minutes. What about you?
Yeah, see, like I listen to this album a lot. 1096 minutes.
Oh my gosh, compared to your total amount of minutes listened, that is such a large percentage.
Yeah, I listened to this album start to finish a whole bunch of times. It's so good. It's also I think 3 hours long, probably average for a Grateful Dead show, but really great album. I brought this up before. We'll probably do it for some future
Yeah,
podcast episode
I'd
because
love
it's got
to.
pretty much everything you love about the Grateful Dead. I think at least
Okay,
what
that's
I love.
awesome.
Maybe not what you love.
No, that's awesome. I'm excited to do that episode now. Who else was in your top five albums?
That you probably could guess. Almost Acoustic, Jerry Garcia Acoustic Band, Garcia Live Volume 14. That's Jerry Garcia and John Kahn. The Dead and Company City Field show that we did a episode on. And then the other Dead and Company, the Nassau um,
Hmm,
Memorial Stadium,
yeah.
which are like two of like Dead and Company albums that I really like. Like obviously we did episodes on.
Nice. Mine were a little embarrassing because this is where that young artist comes in that I said there's no way that I would be 83 listening age when I had Justin Bieber in my top five.
Oh yeah, I remember you said that.
So my top album was The Cosmic Selector. Number two was Swag by Justin Bieber, which I just listened to a bunch in the summer by like the pool and like driving, like situations where I just wanted something to like fill the noise. And I mean, it is fun and like a good album, but it's definitely not like I was just shocked that it was number two for me. The Music Never Stopped was three. My second last album by Bahamas was four, which surprisingly that got into there because that came out in October. So I must have just spammed that
Yeah.
album right when it came out. And then Fiddler's Green Amphitheater, the show that we did, was number five for me. The Music Never Stopped at number three. That was a release from the Grateful Dead this year.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
I remember that. So is it um for artists, does it mirror the albums pretty closely?
Not really. I listened to 800 artists this year, according to Spotify, and my number one was, can you guess?
Uh, I feel like Lord Huron.
It was Dead and Company.
I was about to say Dead and Company, and I was like, it's not.
Yeah, and you would have guessed Lord Huron based off the top
Yeah,
songs, but it was Dead and Company. Then it was Lord Huron. Then it was Justin Bieber. Then it was Jack Johnson. Then it was John Craigie. Jack Johnson just remarkably consistent in my Spotify Wrapped history, always in the top five.
like
He's
every
like,
year.
yeah, he's never fallen out, I don't think so. Because he was like my first music like thing that I got into when I was like in late middle school, early high school. I was like, oh, this guy's the coolest guy ever. He's got a guitar and he surfs, and um,
Yeah.
he's also just an awesome dude. So he's stuck around all these years for me, but he's never at number one now. He's always like hovering in that 3 to 5 range for me.
Yeah, but it's almost better to be consistent.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to hear your top five. Let me guess your number one. I think it was Dead and Company, right?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
Which
because
which
we
is surprising, I think. So, I mean, my top five's like always the same, and always is the same bands.
mhm.
So one, Dead and Company, two, Grateful Dead. I thought that that would be flipped, but it's probably close to be honest. And then three, Jerry Garcia, four, Jerry Garcia acoustic band, and then five, Jerry Garcia band, regular band.
Who was your video message from on the Wrapped story?
I don't know if I saw that.
That makes sense because all of yours were Dead and Company, Jerry Garcia Band, Grateful Dead.
Yeah.
Um,
Was
mine
that like right
was
after the artists?
yeah, mine
Okay.
was from Jack Johnson. So I got a Aloha from Jack.
That's cool. No, I jumped straight to the which club do you belong to?
Oh yeah, okay. Which club do you belong to?
I have to go back. Um, the Cosmic Stereo Club. I don't know
Sounds
what that
like
means.
should
Oh
have been
yeah,
mine.
Cosmic Stereo Club. My role is specialist. You explore experimental sounds, refining your club's sonic boundaries. So pretty jam band oriented.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Because it said Cosmic, I feel like that should have been the one I got. But mine was Cloud State Society. My role as a scout. I listen to the freshest releases, always pushing your club forward, which isn't that true. I don't really listen to like the freshest releases, but whatever, if that's what it says. The files, did you get some of those?
Yeah, I got it. What did it start for you?
My most energetic day. Did you have that?
Nope. I
Okay.
did get biggest Dead and Company Day, which is something I thought you might get.
I did get that. What day was it for you?
May 7th.
Very close. Mine was April 2nd.
Hmm.
Um, from late evening through sunrise, Dead and Company took over, looping through Sugary, Dark Star, and China Cat Sunflower.
Yeah, so mine on May 7th was it was probably before we were doing the pod for this show for the Nassau Coliseum, where I listened to them for I guess that would be 3.5 hours straight.
Nice. That's awesome. The only other file that I want to point out was my biggest music listening day, because that happened to be my birthday. So
Hmm.
I listened to the most music on
Mine
my birthday.
mine was July 19th. I don't know why.
Interesting. Yeah. Um, so that is our Spotify wrap. Now let's share our top 100 songs. Ian, I'll let you go first if you have yours pulled up. All right.
The top five that we already went over: Fairy Tale of New York, The Pogues, and then a lot of entries of this almost acoustic album for the Jerry Garcia band, acoustic band that I listened to a lot. The Swing Low Sweet Chair, it's the first song, and then this Casey Jones, which is not the Grateful Dead Casey Jones. This is the
Mm,
Mississippi John Hurt version, original version. That's really really good. That I like a lot. Goodnight Irene off the Jerry Garcia and John Conn album, Garcia Live Volume 14. Lead Belly, I believe, cover. I think this was the encore as well. And then the first entry in the Dick's Picks Volume 8 that we talked about, that was one of my top albums. That a lot of entries from this, I think almost all the songs from this album are on my top 100. I really love this Beat It On Down the Line. This is one. There's a lot of banter in this album, and the banter on this is really great. Another Pogues entry. I did not expect to have two Pogue songs in my top 10, but that's pretty cool. Like the little bit of diversity I get. Another song off of the Almost Acoustic album. And then we talked about Fenario by the Journeymen, which is a really good version of what is sort of maybe like an older take of Peggy-O from the 1961 album, the Journeymen self-titled album. And then more entries in the Dick's Picks Volume 8. Our first Dead and Company entry, the City Field Show that we reviewed, Let the Good Times Roll, which I think is I don't know, or remember if it's the opener or not. And then
I think it is.
And then I'll go
Bones.
quicker because it's a lot of entries of the same stuff. More of the Almost Acoustic songs, more of the Dick's Picks Volume 8. Trials of Kato made it back again after being gone for a couple years, I think. This was like a big one for like 2022.
Yep.
With Tom Paine's Bones. Bold as Love, one of my favorite songs of all time, Jimi Hendrix song. More entries from Garcia Live Volume 14, Dick's Picks Volume 8, Almost Acoustic. The Nostalgia we reviewed on the pod. Maybe some studio takes of the Grateful Dead.
I love the Fields of Athenry.
Great version of the Fields of Athenry by the Dubliners. I don't remember why I kept listening to this. The Tony Bennett, Bill Evans, You Must Believe in Spring. I was listening to that in the fall, or not in the fall, in the spring, winter going into spring. Some Sturgill Simpson, Sarah Farrell. More entries from the Jerry Garcia Band, Dick's Picks Volume 8. Another version of Fenario by Joan Baez. I'll Be Here in the Morning, one of my favorite Townes Van Zandt songs. Maybe I'll stop there because it's a lot of entries from Dick's Picks Volume 8 and songs we reviewed on the pod. One thing I wanted to mention, more Irish music. I wanted to get to where Killa is, because I think it's all the way down here at 93. A song that I thought would be my number one, that I listened to equal, if not more, than Fairy Tale of New York, is down at 93.
Yeah, it's all about the
Which was
timing.
interesting, but it did make it, so I'm not sure. But I think, to summarize, out of the top 100, probably 2/3 of it is from probably my top 5 albums overall, but the Dick's Picks Volume 8, Garcia Live Volume 14, and then the Dead and Company albums.
Well, I feel like I have a good representation of your year here through looking at that. Very jam band heavy, and like I said, bluegrass and newgrass. I like that term as well. So
Yeah, and something I just realized looking at that, probably the most represented outside the Grateful Dead stuff was some Irish music, and I didn't get any of that on my genres or albums, which was interesting.
that is interesting. I wonder how they classify that. If it's can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. So starts out very boring. It's all Lord Huron's Cosmic Selector. The first 7 songs are all songs from that album. The first non-Lord Huron song in my top 100 is "The Music Never Stopped" by the Grateful Dead, and the Philadelphia 1978 version. Rain Me In, Sam Fender and Olivia Dean. That's a good song. Kingfisher comes in at number 10 with Gloria. This song, I'm a Rover, Ross Greger album, great album, great song. And then Justin Bieber sneaking in there, Bahamas, Mumford and Sons. They came out with a new album this year. Billy Strings, 7 Weeks in County. Shenandoah by the Statler Brothers. This is a great old traditional song. Some more of artists that we have mentioned.
Steve Martin.
Steve Martin.
26.
Yeah. I wanted to quickly go over Sweet Spot by Justin Bieber because that's a ridiculous song, but that came up on my top songs. But Daddy played the banjo, Steve Martin and his band. That's a great original song by Steve Martin. He wrote it with some other people, I think. Really good song. We got Fenario. That's one of the songs that we share in our top 100. The Bards, they're a local band from Annapolis, Severna Park area. Some guys that we went to high school with, really good. So they made my top 100 songs. Bo Burnham, because I turned 30 this year, so 30 by Bo Burnham. Landed
Was that just 37. From your birthday?
Yeah, pretty much. I was just listening to it a lot when I was about to turn 30. Some John Craigie, Lay Down Sally, Jerry Garcia Band. There we go, Ian. They made it.
Awesome.
More of the same. Waxahachie, I saw her with Lord Huron. She's awesome. And I think it's just more of the same. You get some Eminem thrown on there because I listen to that in the gym when I go to the gym, which isn't very often, which is why those songs aren't higher. But you get some of that hip hop thrown in there from when I'm working out.
You got a couple Timothy Chalamet, almost covers.
Yeah, I was
kind of
listening.
Maybe like a different genre than cover, but
yeah, soundtrack cover. I don't know how to describe it, but I was listening to that soundtrack a lot after seeing the movie in the winter this year. So yeah, Timmy Chalamet made my top 100, and that's about it. Nothing too surprising. Some embarrassing songs, but what's a top 100 from Spotify Wrapped without a few cringe songs in there, you know?
Yeah. So how does it compare to previous years for you?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked this question because I actually keep a spreadsheet on Google Sheets of all of my data since 2014. I haven't updated it since like 2023, so I got to put in 2024 and 2025 data, but I literally organized it so that I could statistically see like what my top song of all time is, because I would give it a number 1 through 100, and if it was the number 1 song in the top 100, it would get 100 points. It's a whole system. I can basically sort out what my favorite song is statistically.
Is it consistent? Well, I guess not, because yours
were
mainly Lord Huron this year.
Yeah, it's usually Blue Skies by Noah and the Whale had that spot for a long time, but it's probably fallen off greatly in the past few years.
All right, we should do that as another episode, like our top songs of the past 5 years or something.
We should. All right, Ian. Well, we're coming up on time here, so I think we should wrap it up. But thanks for joining us this year, and we're going to continue Old Moon Radio in the new year, and we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, see ya.